might say a thing or two that some people will misconstrue. And that's cool. We all strive in the rule. For those who tuning in, you got my dying gratitude. Hello, and welcome to the Diamond Cooper Show. Coming to you live from my hometown of Washington, D.C. on this wonderful end of regular season NBA Sunday. Did y'all enjoy the games? I hope you did. I did. And now the playoffs are set. And we're going to dive into that. We're going to dive into the Jason Whitlock comments that I spoke on earlier. And we always start with the first segment. But before we do, gotta thank everybody who like and subscribe. And if it's your first time joining me, make sure you hit that like, boop, that subscribe, boop, and rock with your brother. And I'm gonna rock with you. So let's get right into it with the first segment. For real. Y'all notice I talked about the comments that Russell Wilson said about paving the way in some respects for black quarterbacks by making it to back-to-back Super Bowls, but he failed to mention the black quarterbacks that came before him, namely Shaq Harris, Randall Cunningham, Warren Moon, Dante Culpepper, Steve McNair, Michael Vick, and a host of others, Rodney Peete. Go Lakers? I agree. We'll get into what the Lakers did today in a minute. Dangy Man Cooper. Dangy Man Cooper commenting already. For those who don't know, Dangy Man Cooper is a relative of mine. I'm not going to put nobody on blast. But today, Russell Wilson wanted to come out with a tweet, and he wanted to kind of walk back his statements. Oh, I pay homage to the players before, during, and after me. That ain't what you said in the beginning, nigga. That ain't what you said in the beginning. You said by you going to back-to-back Super Bowls and winning one, that you opened doors for black quarterbacks. And you left out the black quarterbacks that came before your ass. Now that Shannon Sharp and other people criticize you for acting like you opened some doors for black quarterbacks when they opened the door for you. Dang, man, Cooper. You know what? You're going to stop correcting me on my show, man. People see the comments, you correcting me on my damn show. Now, you got to show some respect. You got to put some respect, like Birdman said. You got to put some respect on my show now. Dang, man. What kind of a name is that? Anyway, Russell Wilson, you can't wait until people criticize you for what you said. You have to think about what you say before you say it, brother. Hopefully this motivates your ass to go out there for Pittsburgh and show out and don't let Justin Fields take over that damn job because he the future. How about you do that? And we're going to leave the for real segment short, just like that. Pay homage to the people who came before you ahead of time, Russell Wilson, not after, man. Damn. But forget that. Let's get into the NBA playoffs because the playoffs are set. And we're going to start in the East. Boston secured #1 seed a while ago, so that's locked in. But the Knicks stole the #2 seed from Milwaukee today by surviving against the Chicago Bulls in overtime 120-119. So now the Knicks are the #2 seed because Milwaukee lost to Orlando. They lost bad too without Giannis. So now the Knicks are waiting for the winner between the Miami Heat, who have the 8th seed, and the Philadelphia 76ers, who are in the play-in tournament. The winner of that game plays against the New York Knicks. And even though popular demand is going to say that it's a problematic matchup, especially if Philly wins this game with Miami, because Joel Embiid is back. And Joel Embiid caused problems for everybody. But the Miami Heat, they are the team that coasts through the regular season. And when playoff time comes, just like last year, lost the first play-in game, won the second play-in game, made it all the way to the finals. We know Jimmy Butler's going to be ready for the moment, and that's a hell of a start off for a play-in, but that'll be Wednesday because the West games are Tuesday, and we'll get into the West in a second. Of course, Miami knocked off Philly a couple years ago when James Harden was there. That's going to be a tough game. Miami and Philly handled business today, so they stay locked in their positions. And the 9 and 10 game is the Atlanta Falcons. I said Falcons. The Atlanta Hawks at the Chicago Bulls. Now, it's wild because Miami, Chicago, and Atlanta were in the play-in tournament last year. They're back in the play-in tournament again. Atlanta and Chicago, both of the East games will be played on Wednesday. The winner between Atlanta and Chicago will play the loser between Miami and Philly. Not looking good for the winner because whoever loses between Miami and Philly will probably be favored. However, whoever wins that game will get the number 8 seed and will play the Boston Celtics. In the other 2 series in the East, we have the number 6 Indiana Pacers playing the Milwaukee Bucks. And the narrative is that Indiana been beating Milwaukee ass all year. 4-1, including the blowout against Milwaukee in the in-season tournament. And they were talking as if it would be some type of rivalry. Not necessarily because they haven't played each other in the playoffs. Playoffs is a different game. We're not sure about Giannis's health. And Milwaukee lost to Orlando 113-88 without Giannis today. So without Giannis, they're not looking that good. And I don't know if y'all was watching today, but some wild shit happened. Indiana scored 86 points in the first half. And they gave up 72. What the? 86-72 at halftime? Playing against Atlanta. What? That's a third quarter score. How the hell do you score 86? And they won the damn game. They put up 150. They beat Atlanta 157-115. Yeah, you heard me right. In case you didn't see the score. 157-115. Damn. Like, how can you feel confident? I can't even get the word out. I'm discombobulated about it. How can you be confident going into the play-in tournament when you just gave up 157 points in a regulation game and lost by 42? I don't know what to tell you. But what I can tell you is you're playing Chicago. The way Chicago played New York, Chicago should go ahead and just win that game because Atlanta ain't got no defense. Not at all. That shit is 186. Moving right along. The 4-5 matchup. Orlando is the 5 seed, so Cleveland has home court. They play Cleveland, who lost to Charlotte today. They actually could have moved. Well, yeah, they could have moved up. But they lost to Charlotte today. 120-110 after having a double-digit lead. So now Orlando will face Cleveland in the East. That's the 4-5 matchup. So now you got it set. Boston is waiting to see who wins between the play-in games. The winner between Miami and Philly, the 7-8 game, plays New York. The loser of that game plays the winner between Atlanta and Chicago. The winner of that game will get to see Boston. Which, if they don't make no threes, you probably got a chance. Now let's move to the West, where my team resides. The number 1 seed, OKC. And it's kind of ironic we're talking about points. I got to take a sip on this shot. Because OKC had 82 at halftime. What? 82 at halftime? 82-41. They was beating Dallas. And they won 135-86. Hell of a way to lock in the number 1 seed. Of course, they didn't play everybody. Dallas didn't. Because they locked in to play the Los Angeles Clippers, which we'll get to in a second. But damn, 82. You lost by 49, man. In the hood, we go ahead and call that 50. We go ahead and give you the extra one. You lost by 50, man. Like, come on, man. You got to have some type of pride. Damn. And the number 2 seed is Denver. They won. Minnesota lost today to Phoenix. So the play-in tournament in the West, the 7-8 game is the Lakers going to New Orleans. After the Lakers beat New Orleans tonight, 124-108 at New Orleans. A Lakers win will set up a matchup with the Denver Nuggets. A Lakers loss will set a home game versus the Golden State and Sacramento winner. And today, LeBron James had 17 assists. Triple double, 17 assists. Stop hating on him. 21st season, 39 years old, balling. Got the Lakers. Y'all scared of him. Y'all think we scared of Denver. We ain't scared. We coming. As I stated, the 9-10 game was Golden State of Sacramento, a rematch of the 7-game first-round series last year, where Steph Curry went off for 50 in Game 7 to eliminate Sacramento. Now, the loser goes home. The winner will play the loser between the New Orleans and the Lakers game for the 8th seed. The other matchups, a rematch from today, was Phoenix beat Minnesota 125-106 in Minnesota. Phoenix will be back at Minnesota because that's the 3-6 matchup. And in the 4-5 matchup, you got Luka and Kyrie and the Dallas Mavericks going up against Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and the Clippers. Must-see TV. I'll give y'all predictions on the series and everything later. I got to check out injuries, who's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing. But these are the series that are locked in. The play-in, Lakers at New Orleans Tuesday. Golden State at Sacramento Tuesday. The winner between the Lakers and New Orleans plays Denver. The loser plays the winner between Golden State and Sac for the number 8 seed. Number 6 Phoenix at Minnesota. Luka, Kyrie, Dallas. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and the Clippers. It's going to be serious, y'all. So I hope y'all getting ready, because I am. And to the main topic of the night. Now that I got the sports out the way, we'll get into the baseball. Good night, thumbs up. Get into the baseball at another time, because y'all see my Yankees 13-3. We busting ass right now. Best record in the Major League Baseball. Don't hate. But Jason Whitlock has some interesting things to say. I know y'all noticed the thumbnail I put up. For those who haven't viewed this, you'll see it. And I know you'll vibe with me if you're open-minded and if you're real. But he says that white people deal with the same police discrimination that blacks deal with. And his foundation was based on his association with a few white people. Really? All right, let's just make this clear. If you have a dispute with someone else and you all just going off of what you know, you have to go to data or information or research in order to solidify your argument. So, let's go to the data. There's a 99 percentile that refers to blacks versus everybody else in the criminal justice system. Why is that? Because they're targeted. When people are driving down the street in a particular area, wearing a particular type of clothing, of a particular descent, police officers are more likely to pull them over. Now, Mr. Whitlock, you allege that you've driven a 6-figure Mercedes-Benz for the past 29 years. You've been on TV for 26 years. That helps, because your notion that you were going to strip clubs here and there, you were going to high-end strip clubs where everybody was there that had these same types of cars, and the police know y'all ain't still that shit because you're in a high-end place. Ain't nobody making that type of, ain't nobody putting themselves in that kind of jeopardy. They have task forces and different departments for a reason, because they target certain areas for certain reasons. So for you to say that the only time you've been pulled over is when you was in the wrong, okay, kudos to you. But your ass wasn't driving no 6-figure car on Georgia Avenue. Your ass wasn't driving no 6-figure car on O Block. Your ass wasn't driving no 6-figure car through Jacksonville, through Memphis, St. Louis, Crenshaw. So to act like because your ass ain't been pulled over, You ain't been riding around in the places where it's high crime and all that. So of course your ass ain't been pulled over. But for you to say that white people deal with the same type of discrimination outside of the white dude that was on his knees and got executed by the officers that one time, what other case do you have? I can't remember his name or even how long ago it was. But that's the only time I actually saw a white person that was done wrong by the police, like executed. That shit been going on with us forever. Perfect example. You say that black people are, we claim or we're looking for rewards for being 24/7 victims of discrimination. No, sir. That's not what's going on. It's people that actually go through this shit. That's enlightening people like you who ain't been pulled over in 29 years except you was doing something crazy on the road. You say you like to speed. Okay, your ass was speeding, so you got pulled over. That's just because you were speeding in areas where you knew you can get away with it. You're not dumb. You're a very smart dude. And you actually make a lot of good points that I don't disagree with because you have a lot of knowledge about how the industry works. So I give you credit for that. But however, when you speak on shit like this, you speak on shit that I've been through and people I know have been through. And you wrong. You're so off. And I'm going to tell you why you're so off. When black people have conversations with their sons about how they're supposed to deal with the police, that conversation is centered around their child making it home. When white people had a conversation with their children, they're saying, just don't upset them, don't have anything in the car, you'll be all right. It's that simple. Mr. Whitlock, do a survey on your show. You got a great platform. Do a survey on your show asking black mothers how many times they've had a conversation with their son to make sure that their son came home. You said George Floyd was a glorified martyr. How? If something is going on in the present time and it has something to do with abuse and the structure that was built to keep us mentally and physically enslaved, whether we know it or not, people are supposed to speak out. Now, I'll give you credit for one thing. It's not after the march and it does die down, there's not a lot of whole work that gets done after the fact to keep it going. I'll give you credit for that. But to say that it's the same, the information and the data doesn't support that. In fact, the information and data supports that just on New Jersey Turnpike, more black people are pulled over than white people, but more white people are found with drugs than black people. So if you up the rate of how many times white people were pulled over on that strip, there will be more white arrests than black arrests. However, they don't get pulled over as much because of the image that is portrayed. Now, a brother in a Toyota Corolla is more likely to get pulled over than a brother in a Mercedes or a Jaguar. But it doesn't change the fact that it's a brother. So you're way off on that. And then you said, which was the most funniest thing that you said, Mr. Whitlock. You said that if everyone accepted Jesus Christ, it'll solve all of our problems. Have you lost? I understand that you claim the Christian faith, but have you lost your mind? So they just have to accept them, not as teachings, not as walk, not as message. You say that all the other religions are obsolete, but you are a part of a religion that has thousands of denominations and everyone believes that theirs is the right one, but you're all reading the same book. I don't see none of y'all really following Jesus's teachings. So for you to say that crime will be lower and hypocrisy would be lower and people getting messed over in businesses and everybody would just live in harmony if we all just accepted Jesus, that's bullshit. You want to know why? Because more than half of the people that is in the same belief that you are don't even accept Jesus Christ. Because if you paid attention to Jesus Christ and what he represented, then you would walk his teachings. You would represent his teachings, but you sit on your platform and you speak ill of a lot of people. Now, would Jesus speak ill of a lot of people? So if you believe that you're a Christian and you have Christian advertisements on your show, you have Christian people come on your show and you talk about spirituality and Christianity and you stand on it. However, you utilize a lot of your time to bash people. Is that something Jesus would have done? I'm just wondering, because it sounds a little hypocritical to me. I don't believe that I read anything where Jesus was overly critical of anybody. However, you're very critical of a lot of people, but now you're saying that if everybody accepted Jesus, then everything will be all right. But you make a lot of money off of talking about a lot of stuff that ain't all right. It doesn't add up, my brother. You, my brother, are privileged, and you had financial security through your family, through your dad who had the restaurant or whatever it was, bowling alley, whatever it was he had. And you had favor in the neighborhoods that y'all were in because of that. Don't act like you lived in the middle of the areas where people were targeted on the highest levels, like I was, and people that I grew up with us, and people that I met in the federal penitentiary and the Bureau of Prisons were. You weren't targeted like them. So in order to really take a position to speak on how people are discriminated against that are brothers, you actually have to be from that ilk, man. Because you've been privileged. You were a square, and kudos to you for being a square. Some people like me wish that we were a square years ago so we didn't get the results that we got. Like I say, I respect what you've done. I watched you on ESPN, late 90s, early 2000s, and everything before you left, went to Fox, and before you left that. I watch your podcast now. Nothing but respect as far as what you do as a businessman. And I know that you have intellect because I agree with a lot of stuff that you say. You point out a lot of good shit. However, on this one, you missed the ball because there is no facet of equivalence when it comes to how much brothers and sisters are discriminated against by the police versus our white counterparts. And for those who might have a question, am I racist? Yeah. But not against white people. I'm racist against fake people and fake things. Fucked y'all up, didn't it? When I said, yeah, y'all thought, oh, he don't like white people. I can't hate white people. I have white in my bloodline. I'm mixed. So I'm not the type of person, yeah, I hate all white people. I got white friends, all that. No. But I am racist because there's a lot of shit that I don't like and there's a lot of people that I don't like. But it has nothing to do with their origin, their ethnicity, or the color of their skin. I don't even utilize the word color. I would say hue. However, you're wrong, Mr. Whitlock. I love what you do, but you're wrong, man. There's no equivalent to how black people are treated versus white people. It's always been that way, and unfortunately, it always will be that way. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in tonight, everybody who has liked and subscribed. If it's your first time, please hit that like, boop, that subscribe, boop. Glad that you came. Hope to see you again. Continue to tune in. I'll continue to rock with you as long as you rock with me. Peace and love.